Hey guys, got a day to get back in the shop and get cranking away on things. Time is short, but you guys already know that if you had been following the last couple of videos. Let me show you what we got going today. So I'm currently wrapping up Project LT500r. It's about 98% the way done. I just have a couple more things to do this morning. I actually put some heat tape on the exhaust for both Project LT500r and for Ugly Duck. You can see if you look past all the junk in the shop. I put heat tape on both of those. They both have these Dr. Q exhaust systems, and then when you get back here, they get a little bit close to the fenders. These are brand new OEM rear fenders. You can't get them anymore, and they're a little bit dusty right now. But I would be really upset if the exhaust system melted through the fenders. So doing as much as I can to prevent that. On this 89 Zilla right here, you can actually see where there used to be an aftermarket exhaust system, and it had its way with the fenders there as well. The aftermarket exhaust systems just get a little bit close to the fenders sometimes. It happens on the 250 quad racers as well. And yeah, so it's best to just try and put some heat wrap on that if at all possible to prevent that damage. And then going on over here, we have Project LT250r. Like I said, my dad and uncle were able to diagnose the cause of it not getting any spark, and that was actually the pickup coil inside of stator cover there. And so I have got spark now. I've got to wire it back up and get it going, and hopefully we'll be able to get the first start of that soon. And then this is my pile of completed bikes that I don't need to do anything with. This is the Ugly Duck Zilla, and this is the RM250. These guys are good, and as their stature suggests, they are ready to go out the door. And soon we'll be loading up the trailer and we'll be getting all these bikes going. So once I can finish Project LT500r and Project LT250r, I will then shift to basically just being a mover and getting everything out of the way so we can start dropping the bikes off the shelf, and we'll get everything rolling right out the garage door and on to Waynoka, Oklahoma. Man, a lot to do, but a lot of fun stuff too. So I'm pretty excited. Let's get going. So what I'm installing here is called an overflow bottle. This is for the radiator. What this does is if you lose coolant at all, you've got an extra reservoir of coolant in this bottle here, and the radiator, the cooling system will actually suck antifreeze out of the cooling bottle and then put it back into the radiator and ultimately the whole cooling system. And then there's this is transparent slightly so that you can see the level. And then out in the dunes, this is going to be crucial to make sure that my system is completely topped off with antifreeze. I'll be able to see if antifreeze is getting sucked out of the bottle, and then I'll be able to see if I need to add any. And then I've got this extra little fill cap right here where I can fill in antifreeze if I need to out in the dunes. Basically what this does is there's a hose on the bottom, and this hose is really long. It actually goes down out of the bottom of the overflow bottle and then back up to the top of the radiator. This one is actually just a drain if any excess pressure or anything needs to go out or any antifreeze seeps over, it just drains down below. So I'm just about to finally do the first ride for you guys, and the bike is 99% ready to go, except I've been trying to bleed the brakes for a long time and I actually can't get them to work, and I just realized why. So if you look at the way that the brake line is routed, it comes off the caliper there, it goes up and it does a big sweeping turn, and then it goes back to the master cylinder right there. And what happens is the highest point is actually not the master cylinder. It's not the banjo bolt that's back here. It is right there in the hose. So I bet there's an air bubble there, and what's happening is every time that I push brake fluid past to try to bleed it, the brake fluid just goes around that air bubble. So what I need to do is go back here, break this banjo bolt loose, and then route my line down just a little bit to make this the new highest point. And hopefully that'll get the air out of the system, and then I will have rear brakes. The same thing's actually happening on the front. I don't know how this happened, but my brake lines and coolant lines got all intertwined. And so this brake line is actually supposed to be going under the frame. So I've actually got to unfortunately break it loose, and then I'll probably spill some brake fluid, but I'll have a bunch of shop towels here to catch it all. And then I need to route the brake line under this frame, because I think that this is my highest point in this brake line, and there's the same thing, an air bubble right there that the brake fluid is just flowing past. Totally worked. Rear brakes are totally solid. Front brakes are not the best, but they're gonna do for now. The last and final thing to do before I take it out on its maiden voyage is tighten the chain. You can see it's got quite a bit of play from where it starts to where it finishes is roughly 4 fingers. I want that to be about 2 fingers worth of travel. All right guys, one last moment to drool over this thing before we go and rip it and see what it feels like. I just can't help but check out the backdrop, check out this machine, which honestly, these are all really awesome machines, but to me and my taste, this thing shines out among the rest of them. This thing is just so gnarly, but pays homage to OEM Suzuki. And man, I just can't get over this thing. It is so pretty. Keep in mind that this is actually not even the fenders that are supposed to be on it, or the seat. The fenders that are supposed to be on it are actually nicer, as is the seat. Man, guys, drop a like if you guys want to see more of this kind of stuff, and if you guys are totally digging Project LT500r. All right, guys, the moment a lot of you have been waiting for. This is gonna be the maiden voyage of Project LT500r. I can't wait. I've got some really rednecked little mounts here for the camera. We're gonna see how that goes. All right, guys, you are on the helmet cam. Putting the helmet on. Gonna go over to the Zilla. I'm double checking the video through my watch. I got my knuckles pretty busted earlier. There, right there. Yeah, good stuff. All right, check and make sure the gas is gonna be flowing good. Make sure the gas line is connected. Kind of the stuff you deal with when you're throwing a bike together. You get a bunch of weird things that happen just because it's the first time you threw it all together. just like my brake lines from earlier. If you guys remember that, my brake lines got all twisted up and it wouldn't allow me to bleed the brakes. There were some air bubbles caught in the system. All right, I've been priming it right now with the key switch off. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the key switch on. See if it'll fire. Almost there. Gosh, this thing looks so good out in the daylight. Wow, I'm speechless. All right, guys, let's give it a little rip. Let me check the temperature. I know this isn't quite the right one, it should be up there, but I can still gauge decently what the temperature is down here. We're looking good, just over 100 degrees. Tell on camera how this thing feels, but I'm just getting it warmed up, and I feel like I'm already going 25 over the speed limit. This is why break-ins take so long. Like bolts are backing out just on my handlebars, and they could be backing out other places. This is why Loctite is so important. This is the kind of crucial riding that ideally you do before you go on a riding trip, like Little Sahara. I've only got a couple days left, so fingers crossed that the break-in process all goes good, and we'll be able to rip problem-free in Little Sahara.
Spoke too soon.
Fluttering real bad. So I did a detailed analysis of what could be wrong with the bike, and I think I figured it out. I need to switch the gas cap. This is the billet gas cap that I promised once we hit 1,000 subscribers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are there. I'm gonna do a random drawing, and the winner will get their choice of color of a billet gas cap with the shorty stem, a super nice piece to cherry on top to any build.
Congrats to eCarryon40. You have won a billet gas cap. Feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at JSR__racing, and I will get that sent out to you. Thanks for everyone, though, for subscribing. I really appreciate all you guys.
But yeah, so I checked the fluid levels on everything. We're good everywhere. The temperatures are all good everywhere. I'm assuming it's a carburetor issue, but I'm gonna run it one more time. I don't think I'll hurt anything. And let's see if anything changes. Oh, I need to tighten down that guy. All right, let's try this again. Tighten the twist throttle. But really it is pretty smooth. Alright, let's try this thing again. I got my twist. What happened? Huh, maybe just idling too low? Alright, let's try this thing again. I got my twist throttle tight finally. It was just spinning on me every time I twisted it. And this has dual carburetors, so dual springs, dual slides, dual everything. This twisting motion is quite a bit of force, so it was just spinning it right on the bars. All right, let's try this again. Here we go. Huh. I have some things to figure out. All right, so it's definitely being a little temperamental with me, but there's really no reason why I shouldn't keep trying to run it. Nothing's overheating. It's got oil and antifreeze, and we're all good there. You've got the overflow bottle, so I know if it were to go low on antifreeze, then it would suck some back up pretty good. Yeah, I'm not really sure why it keeps dying on me, and why it was cutting out earlier, but we're gonna go again and see if it does any different. Sputtering like that. Yeah, it's not getting fuel. That's all it is. Precision driving. Actually, my friend, you are done being in the corner. We're gonna get you some fuel, and then you gotta go in the truck to Oklahoma. I'm gonna try to get a better riding video for you guys, obviously, before we go to Oklahoma. Kind of just figure out how it feels on the street. But I feel like the culprit has to be this guy. There's something about this doesn't look right. This dual carb setup has already been problematic, just in the fitment, but I'm also thinking now, yeah, none of this makes sense. There's no way fuel would flow uphill here. I'm pretty sure that no fuel is getting in here, and yeah, let me look at this and figure it out. All right, now as you can see, everything is flowing downhill. So it all starts at the highest point, which is the petcock, and flows straight to the carburetors. None of this down and then up nonsense. That's been my hassle all day today. Brake lines, fuel lines, everything. All right, let's give it one more shot before I gotta go. I just gotta say, even though I gotta keep breaking this thing down just ever so slightly to fix little things here and there, gosh, I can't stop staring at this thing. Like, sometimes it takes me a few seconds before I can get going and start recording and stuff, just because I'm like, man, look at this thing. I hope that you guys get to see this thing in person if you get to come to the Little Sahara ride here in a few days. Even if this thing doesn't run, man, it's something to see. It's it really pops. It's pretty cool. All right, guys, enough talking. Let's get to ripping. I've got a sand volleyball game that I'm supposed to be at in 30 minutes, and it's 35 minutes away. So yeah, your boy's gonna be a little bit late to that. All right, let the fuel flow. I didn't empty the bowls though, so it shouldn't take too long to just fill the fuel lines. Yeah. All right, fingers crossed, let's do this thing.
Alright guys, I won't bore you with too much more footage of this thing cutting out like crazy. It's bucking me like a Bronco. It's kind of insane. Basically, I think it's the ignition coil actually that's kind of cutting out on me, because if you kind of listen to it, it sounds almost like someone just flipping the kill switch on and off. And so I think it's an issue in the electrical system and not actually as much just in the fuel system. So stay tuned. I'm going to try to flip that, get that ignition coil figured out, and then fingers crossed, everything works out.
Close though. Don't worry, the fuel cap you get will not spew gas like this one is. That's missing the gasket. I lost it. It's somewhere over there. Even though I'm super stressed out about all the bikes that I gotta get built, it's still awesome to have some free time to clear the mind. It's volleyball night.
Thanks for watching, guys. Clearly, I've got my work cut out for me, and actually that's just one of 2 bikes that I've got to get done, and I've got about 4 days to do it. So wish me luck. Stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of cool videos to come. Until next time.
Seriously, be honest. How many of you guys have sticker walls?